So one of the things that people often overlook when choosing Orlando as a destination for their investment property or second home is utilizing the property management feature. We have literally hundreds and hundreds of property managers here because we have so many units. But overlooking the fact that you need to be in an HOA community that allows short-term rentals and putting together with that the property management piece to make sure that you're utilizing everything you can as far as experience, knowledge of our market, knowledge of a global market, because people are coming here from all over the world, nightly rates, occupancy rates, how to do dynamic pricing. There's so much to property management, hiring cleaners and maintenance people. All those things have to be perfect because you depend on reviews. Utilizing a property manager, in my estimation, is an absolute must here in Orlando, and having a property within an HOA is also a must. So don't overlook those two items.
And as always, this information is on the house. Universal's Epic Universe, Disney's New Cars Land, Villains Land, Monsters Inc. Land, SeaWorld's Coaster Pipeline. Right now, Orlando is in the middle of the biggest theme park boom we've seen in 20 years, and every one of those announcements is a pricing event for your Orlando Airbnb. But if you skip the HOA community or you're trying to self-manage from another state, you're going to miss every single one of them. So today, I'm walking you through the top 5 reasons property managers are worth the money and is a non-negotiable for your Orlando short-term rental in 2026. And the one most owners get wrong is costing them around $20,000 a year. Stick with me till the end, because the reason number 5 is the one I tell every first-time investor before they even put in an offer. Reason number 1, they capture the theme park surge. Number 1 is the most people don't think about, and it's the biggest profit lever you have. Dynamic pricing tied to the theme park calendar. And listen, this only works because you bought in the right HOA community. The Lazy River at Champions Gate, the Tiki Bar at Solara, the movie theater and tennis courts, the 24-hour guard gate. That's what beats a hotel room. That's what justifies a premium nightly rate. The HOA gives you the asset. The property manager extracts the value. That's the combination. Here's what I mean. The day Universal officially opened Epic Universe in May of 2025, nightly rates inside short-term rental communities like Champions Gate and Solara jumped. Some homes saw a 20% to 30% bump on opening week. Same thing's gonna happen when Disney drops the dates for the New Cars Land and Villains Land. Same thing happens during Epcot's Food and Wine Festival, Flower and Garden Festival, during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties, during Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, during Christmas party events. Every single one of those events is a pricing event for you. A good property manager is using software like AirDNA and PriceLabs to adjust your nightly rate every single day. They know that a Brazilian family booking through VRBO is willing to pay one number, while domestic families booking through Airbnb in comparison shopping against 3 other listings is going to pay a different number. They know the international guest patterns. They know when Brazilian school breaks hit versus when UK families travel versus when AAU sports tournaments fill the area. If you're sitting in Ohio trying to set your own nightly rate once a month, you're going to lose money, plain and simple. Reason number 2, and this is the one that almost gets people fined: compliance and the tech stack. Orange County does not allow short-term rentals. That's where Universal sits, that's where downtown Orlando is. So pretty much every Orlando Airbnb that's actually legal is in Osceola, Polk, or Lake County, what we call the Four Corners. Each of those counties has its own hotel motel license, its own occupancy permit, its own tourist development tax that has to be filed monthly. And many of those jurisdictions require a local point of contact within a certain drive time of the property. Not a relative, not your buddy who lives in Tampa, a real registered local point of contact. On top of that, and this is the part most new owners completely miss, your property needs an actual operating system. Smart locks with rotating codes for every guest, a thermostat that auto resets when the door is left open, pool heaters that only fires up when guests pay for it, noise monitors that protect your standings in the HOA. Because remember, that HOA is what's keeping the neighborhood from looking like the house next door painted pink with someone working on their car in the driveway. The HOA is the protection for your investment. And then your listings. Your Airbnb, your VRBO, your Booking.com, your Expedia, plus the international booking platforms all need to talk to one calendar so you don't double book a family that flew in from London. Here's the other thing about being in an HOA community that nobody's talking about. The booking algorithms favor you. There are so many homes already listed inside Champions Gate, Solara, Windsor Cay, that resort communities rise to the top of the search results in Airbnb and VRBO. If you're outside any of those HOA communities in Orlando, the algorithms basically can't find you. You're invisible. The HOA isn't just a fee, it's a distribution. A property manager sets all of that up for you in the first 30 to 60 days. If you try figuring it out yourself, 6 months, easy. And in those 6 months, your taxes, your mortgage, your insurance, and your HOA fees aren't going to stop. They keep coming. Reason number 3, the 2 a.m. phone call. It's August. It's 96 degrees. The AC fails in your 9-bedroom rental at midnight. There are 18 guests inside. They have 3 more days booked. What happens next? If you've self-managed from out of state or out of country, you're spending the next 2 hours of your day on the phone trying to find an HVAC technician in Central Florida who's actually going to show up, and at midnight, when your guests are blowing up your inbox and starting to draft a 1-star review. Meanwhile, your property manager that you could have hired, they've already dispatched the on-call tech they have a standing relationship with, comped the guests a partial refund out of your cleaning float, and posted a calm reply in the message thread before the bad review ever gets typed. Same thing applies to a busted pool pump on a Saturday, a locked out guest at 11 p.m., a surprise inspection from the county, a tropical storm watch where you've got 48 hours to hurricane prep the property before insurance asks if you took reasonable precautions. None of that waits for your morning cup of coffee out of state. And remember, most counties in our area legally require you to have a local responsible party. So self-managing from out of state without one isn't just risky. In several jurisdictions, it's actually a violation. All right, so dynamic pricing, compliance, and emergency response. Those are the 3 reasons most owners think about. The next 2 are the ones that actually separate the operations making real cash flow from the ones who quietly sell at a loss in year 3. So stay with me. Reason number 4 is the one I talk about all the time when I do home tours on this channel. The little things, the inventory, the turnovers, the hand towel problem, and it starts before they ever walk in the door. Think about the guest's first 10 minutes. They've been on a plane, they drive into Champions Gate, Solara, or Windsor Cay, and there's a 24-hour guard at the gate. There's palm trees, there's lazy rivers behind the clubhouse, and they can see their kids splashing as they drive past. That moment, oh my God, we're on vacation. That moment is the start of your 5-star review. You can't replicate that in a non-HOA neighborhood. It doesn't matter how nice your house is, the arrival experience is what they are paying for. That's the HOA's job. And it's a job a property manager can't do alone. But once they get inside the house, that's where the property manager and their cleaning crew earn their fee. Here's the real example I see constantly. An owner buys a beautiful 9-bedroom in Champions Gate, pool, game room, the whole package. List it for $480, $500 a night. First booking comes in, a multi-generational family of 16 people. They check in, they go to the pool. There's no beach towels. So they grab your nice white bath towels. By day 3, the bath towels are stained, the linens are shot, or this one, kitchens have 8 plates. There's 16 guests. So the family is washing dishes constantly, except there's only one dishwasher pod under the sink. So they end up at Walmart at 9 p.m. buying their own paper towels, dishwasher pods, and trash bags. That family leaves a 4-star review. Beautiful house, just wasn't well stocked. That simple review, that 1 star that you lost, drops you a notch in the algorithm and costs you somewhere between $5,000 and $15,000 in bookings over the next year. A property manager has cleaning crews who do an inventory count after every single turnover. Beach towels, hand towels, dishwasher pods, paper towels, trash bags, batteries for the pool remote. Is a bad review worth a 12-cent dishwasher pod? It is not. And speaking of the details that compound, I put all of this into a free guide called the Smart Investor's Playbook. It walks you through the top short-term rental communities near Disney, the hidden costs nobody warns you about, how to calculate ROI on an Orlando vacation home, and a checklist of what your property needs to actually compete in this very competitive market. The link is right below this video in the description. Grab it before you make an offer on anything. It'll save you a ton of trial and error money. Reason number 5, the one I just teased. Here it is, and pay attention because this is the one most first-time investors get wrong before they ever put in an offer. While you're learning how to be a short-term rental host, while you're figuring out how Airbnb's algorithm works, while you're hiring and firing cleaners, while you're learning what to charge in February versus what to charge during spring break, while you're building up your first 10 reviews, your taxes do not pause. Your mortgage does not pause. Your insurance, Florida has the highest in the country, does not pause. And let me be clear about your HOA dues because I want you to think about these right away. In a community like Champions Gate or Solara, you're looking at $450 to $650 a month. That sounds like a lot until you back out what's actually included. Cable, internet, all of your lawn care, the 24-hour guard gate that's welcoming your guests like royalty, the lazy river, the tiki bar, the movie theater, the tennis courts, the amenity center your guests are using every single day they're there. You back all of that out of your dues, and the real cost at the HOA is a fraction of what the sticker says. And you cannot replicate any of that in a non-HOA community. So no, the HOA dues aren't sticky. They're the asset that makes the cash flow possible. They just don't pause while you're learning. And that's fine because they're earning the whole time too. I've seen owners who try to self-manage in year 1. 6 months in, they're down 30 grand because they couldn't get bookings, couldn't compete in the listing platforms, and couldn't price their home correctly. Then they finally hire a property manager, and now they're rebuilding from a position of a bad review in a dormant calendar. My advice, and this is what I tell every client I help buy a short-term rental, at a minimum, hire the property manager for the first year. 12 months. Watch what they do, ask questions, learn the system from someone who already runs it. Then if you want to take over in a year or 2 and pocket that 18 to 22% management fee yourself, you've got a rental with reviews, a fully built tech stack, and a year of pricing data to learn from. That's the smart play. So those are your top 5. Dynamic pricing tied to the theme parks, compliance and tech setup, boots on the ground, the detail level review game, and the year 1 learning curve. And remember what I said at the very start of this video, the property manager and the HOA. The HOA is the asset. The property manager is what makes the asset perform. Skip either one and you don't get to skip the consequences. You just get to learn them the hard way. I'm always thumbs up for HOAs here in Orlando, and I'm always thumbs up for hiring a great property manager, especially in year 1. If you want me to walk you through a specific short-term rental community I recommended like Champions Gate, Windsor Cay, Solara, Solterra, I've got the full community tour series right here on this channel. I'll link a playlist on the screen now. Start with Champions Gate, breakdown. It has the most investor-friendly items that investors always asking about.
And as always, this information is on the house.